Hi everyone, this is Misha from Made Up Research, and today we're going to be looking at new makeup from Essence. As usual, it's the time of the year where they just keep launching new stuff. So here I have a bowl full of their newest products and we're going to be looking into them. I'm going to start with the new Glow Like Honey Primer. I'm a little bit scared to use this because I'm not really the biggest fan of like dewy base. But this is also supposed to be a gripping primer, which I do like. So I'm a little bit on the fence here. I cannot wait to see what I think. The thing that throws me off the most is that this really smells like honey. So I'm gonna do 2 pumps. I don't want to go too crazy. Looks like this. It does have a nice texture. It doesn't seem to be very sticky. It does feel a tiny bit oily, I gotta say. Feels a bit heavy and a bit oily, but we'll see. Maybe it's not going to be too bad for the makeup. It is definitely sticky, so yeah. Probably gripping. Now another product that I have is this new Glow Like Honey Serum Spray. But I'm honestly not sure if this is supposed to be... No, this is supposed to be more like a skincare / finishing spray. So I think we're going to use this at the end because I want to give a fair shot to our new foundation. This is the new Silky Blur Hydrating Longwear Foundation. I haven't seen a foundation from Essence in a bit. That would be new and that would kind of, catch my attention. It is supposed to be a lightweight formula with prickly pear extract. I actually do like that. Blurs pores and imperfections for a flawless natural matte finish. Medium to buildable coverage. What the hell? Medium to buildable coverage. Shake well before use. We're gonna shake it well. I have the shade 115. There are many shades in this foundation. I was really pleasantly surprised with the shade range. And this is what we're looking at. It's 30 milliliters, glass bottle, a little pump. I'm gonna do 1 pump. Okay, maybe 1.5. So far, it's looking really, really thick. See, it's not really running too fast. I always like to apply my foundation from my hand. I mean, first impression is that it's really, really smooth. And also a little bit dark. I have to add a tiny bit more because this brush is like eating it up. I would probably recommend a denser brush because this one is kind of just slurping up the product. But it's blending really nicely. I'm not sure how off it looks on camera. In person, it does look a bit dark. But I feel like for the summer, it wouldn't be the worst shade match. Here's the foundation applied. I feel like this looks pretty damn good. Like, it is a really nice finish. It is definitely more matte. A bit more coverage than I usually go for. I do like that. I feel like the primer is giving it like a little bit more of a glow, which is not too bad actually. Pretty nice. But they didn't just stop there. Of course, they gave us a new concealer too. This is the Silky Blur Hydrating Longwear Concealer in the shade 06 or 90. No indicator on what's the shade name. I have been using this one before. It is a buildable coverage concealer, natural matte finish as well, and it's supposed to be waterproof too. This one has a really interesting doe foot. It's like very flexible and thin and it picks up a ton of product. So I usually just like wipe off a bit because I don't need that much. But it's really pointy, so it makes it really easy to get into any crevice on your face. Again, the shade match is not the best. But I have been using this one a bit more and it's kind of wearable to me. This one is okay. It is a really nice formula. It's kind of liquidy and insanely thin. But at the same time, I feel like it covers really nicely. And hopefully it's gonna fix this little shade match situation a bit. Like, especially under my eyes, I do prefer concealers that are more lightweight and hydrating. When I look up close, I think this is looking pretty good. Like, the coverage is decent. I think the finish is really nice. So far, so good. So I'm going to grab the new Soft Touch Mousse Blush. This is the shade Cozy Clay. It's gorgeous. I think this is supposed to be like, of course, another dupe of the Fui pudding pots. But I do like the packaging here because it's not as bulky as everybody makes it. This is like really interesting. Once you start swatching it, it kind of turns way different than it looks. This might be a bit too light for me. We will see. So I'm gonna take my little mousse blush applicator and I'm just gonna try to place some on. You know what, this is actually not too bad. I thought it was gonna look a bit too brown, but I actually feel like this is looking pretty cute. It's kind of subtle. It's like very, like almost your skin tone, but a little bit orangey. It's an interesting color for a blush, honestly. But maybe if you're really pale, this would be a beautiful, like more cool toned peachy blush. If it was a little bit darker for me, I think I would like it even more, but I do kind of enjoy this tone. Also, the texture is very different to the Fui blushes. This one is a little bit more creamy when you touch it. It's just a little bit different in texture, and you know what, I like that because I don't think everybody should just copy the one trend. Next we have to powder our faces. This is the new Silky Blur Translucent Loose Setting Powder, which promises silky matte and soft focus finish. Now this is a talc-free powder. There has been like great discussion about talc-free powders online. To be quite honest with you, I'm not like 100% up to date on it. All I know is that talc is not the best thing to put on your face, so many brands have been launching talc-free powders. The acceptance of these has been a little bit here and there. It's some of them suck, some of them don't. We'll see how about this one. It is supposed to be translucent, however, it does have this like slightly, almost like peachy nude tint to it, so we will see how it actually goes. Whee! I still prefer using a powder puff, so I'm gonna take a powder puff, pick up a tiny bit of that powder, and dab the excess off. Oh, this is dusty. And let's go. It does seem to be like slightly brightening, but to be fully honest with you, it does look a little heavy. I don't really love that. It doesn't feel like super dry and crazy matte, which I do really like. I just don't think it looks good on the under eyes. Am I crazy? Look at that. I just feel like it looks a bit heavy, but I'm gonna powder the rest of my face with it. I feel like it still leaves my skin like a little tacky. But it doesn't make you look too matte. I do quite like that. My skin still kind of looks like skin. I'm not gonna go overboard because when I apply too much of powder, it can look really, really heavy. Right now, I still feel like I could use a little bit of powder like around this area. Still feels a little not completely powdered down, but that's fine. I can survive that. Like in person, the one thing that kind of stands out are the under eyes. These do look a little bit too textured and like heavy, and it's not it. It's just not really it. The rest of the face though, it's not looking too bad. We do have another blush. This is the new Soft Baked Blush. It looks like this. It is stunning. It does kind of look like the Rare Beauty blushes. This is the shade Rose All Day. I'm going to put on a little bit of that so that we can kind of set the tone for the face. It is really glowy. Like I may not even need a highlighter. And also it's a lot more pink toned than I expected. Let me get a different brush. Also, kind of almost like a cool toned pink. What the hell? This is looking so wildly different on the face than I expected. It is more glowy than pigmented. The pigmentation honestly feels a little patchy. When you look at it, it's not the most smooth and like uniform blush. I'm not sure what I think about this. Next, I'm gonna move on to eyebrows. This is the new microblading brow brush lighter, which is essentially a brow pen. I have it in the shade light brown. As expected, you have a spoolie on one side, so I'm gonna use it to comb through my eyebrows. They are a little bit, well, they're not looking their best. And on the other side, you do have the little pen. This actually looks very fine. Oh my gosh. Those are some really fine strokes. You almost cannot see them on camera. So I'm gonna shake it and then I'm gonna try to draw in some eyebrow hairs. I'm not like a total beginner with these. I'm just always a little bit cautious about how many strokes I want to make and how thick I want them. Quite frankly, I think it's one of the better brow pens from the drugstore that I've tried, so I would definitely recommend this. And I do like the shade because it's like properly cool toned and it matches my natural hair color pretty well. Of course, I'm going to fix it with my favorite brow gel, which is also from Essence. It's the Brow Lift and Freeze Glue. Now, before we move on to the eyes, I want to talk about this thing. This is the Glycerin Lip Treatment. So I'm going to take a tiny bit. It is very like glittery and glossy, but the texture of this actually insanely good. It does remind me a lot of the Fenty Beauty, like this balmy treatment, and I love that one. So I would definitely recommend it. I think it's really good. And in it, you have glycerin, peptides, hyaluronic acid, shea butter, and squalane. So it really moisturizes the lip beautifully. It is one of those balms that just stays on forever. And now let's move on to the eyes. Listen up. We have new single eyeshadows. And you might be thinking, oh, that's not that exciting. Like nobody uses these anymore. Wrong, because we have a whole new bunch of formulas. Now, I don't have all of them, but I do have the most exciting one. The two formulas that I have are the Mono Eyeshadow Glitter and Mono Eyeshadow Pearly. So the Pearly one, I have only one. It's the shade Silky Taupe, and it looks like this. It is a pretty cute taupey color. I thought it could be a nice, everyday, just all over the lid shade. But the other formula that I have, the glittery one, I have all the shades they have in this. I have the shade Frosted Shine, Rosy Sparkle, and Blushed Stardust. And these are absolutely stunning, stellar, amazing. For the price, these are insane. And I'm going to show you. Don't worry, I'm going to show you. Let's get swatching. It is a very smooth metallic-y formula. And it looks like this. It is a very, everyday shade. This is the Frosty shade. Gorgeous, stunning. This is the Blushed Stardust. A little bit more warm tone. And then we have Rosy Sparkle, which is the most pink one. Honestly, I love that we're getting so many cool toned toppers these days. I love those. How do I even position that hand? See, it's the one here at the bottom. They're absolutely stunning. I feel like this is the closest we ever got to the Urban Decay singular eyeshadows or even ColourPop eyeshadows. I'm gonna start with a small brush and I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the Silky Taupe and just place it on the inner and outer corners of my eye. Listen, if somebody's telling you that doing all shimmery look is not allowed, screw them. Try to blend in the pigment a little bit more. See, it gives you a little bit of something. I'm just trying to build a tiny bit of dimension to add the more prominent shimmers on top. I'm gonna deepen it up a little bit by using this little e.l.f. palette. A bit more depth so that the eyeshadows really pop. So I'm gonna start with a Blushed Stardust, which is the most gold shade. This is the one that definitely looks like Space Cowboy. And I'm just gonna put that on the middle. Do you see how stunning this is? It's so reflective, so gorgeous. I'm gonna go closer. See that? And now I also wanna take the frosty, what is it called? Frosted Shine, which is almost a silver. And I want to just put that in the middle. I really enjoy layering glittery shadows like that. I feel like it looks so nice. And I'm going to grab a tiny brush and I'm just going to run the taupey shade under my lashes. That is all for the eyes because we need to see the lashes properly and you cannot do that when you have a thick liner. So I'm gonna start with a new curl fixing lash base from Essence. This is their new mascara base and it's just supposed to give you a fixed long lasting curl. You should use it after a lash curl. So I'm gonna curl my lashes and go ahead and apply it. I hate doing this. Even after years and years of doing it, I still hate doing it. And it does have a inky blue color, I would say. The brush is very tiny, so I'm gonna try to really coat the lashes. It smells a bit like a permanent marker. I'm not sure that's a good sign. My eyes are starting to water a tiny bit. The wand is like really thin and delicate, so it keeps like springing. Okay, my eyes are stinging a bit. So next I'm gonna take the Lash Without Limits Tubing Mascara. This is one of my favorite mascaras now. It is also from Essence. And I'm just gonna apply it over these wonderfully prepped lashes. I think they actually are a tiny bit longer. Like, these are solid. Wow. I do actually think I see a bit of a difference with it, because my lashes usually don't look like this at all. My eyes look so open right now. It's freaking me out. Okay, so I think there's something to this. Like, I do quite like it, I think. Or maybe it's just the lash curler, because I'm usually too lazy to use it. Who knows? Anyway, let's go back to the blush. Because looking at it now, I feel like this is very glittery. And I can see like specks of glitter on my cheek. And I don't really like that. So I don't think this is my favorite baked blush formula. But before we move on to the lips, I have another complexion product. I have this What the Fluff Mattifying Face Balm. And you may remember, we had a similar product to this from Catrice some time ago. And I was pretty blown away by it. So I wanted to see if this is exactly the same thing or like what the hell are we looking at, you know? The What the Fluff Mattifying Face Balm. It looks gorgeous, like swirly blue and white, and it is essentially the same thing. Like, it just feels a little bit dry, like it should mattify your face, which it should do. I think we should make our face glowy, so I'm gonna take this serum spray, shake it, of course. Is there any oil in this? Yeah, sunflower seed oil, soybean oil. There's glitter in it. Oh baby. Smells like honey again. Oh my god. So I'm gonna take a little powder puff, because that is how they usually recommend you apply it. So I'm gonna take this one from Real Techniques, and I'm just gonna go ahead and like try to mattify at least my T-zone and see how it feels. Because I feel like the sensation of having this on your face is usually the thing that like bothers me. All right, so now if I touch my face, yeah, it does feel like a layer of something matte on your skin, but it doesn't look bad. I feel like especially if you're not someone who powders their face and you want something to mattify your face, this is a wonderful thing. My lips feel absolutely amazing with this. And we have two lip products that I want to talk about. First is the new Essence Blur Soufflé, which is a matte lip cream. This is supposed to be like a Pillow Talk dupe, I'm pretty sure, because the name was very similar. And it is one of the like very popular matte blurry lip tints. Love them. They look awesome. So I'm just gonna put that on and see. I usually prefer to apply these mostly to the center of my lip, not so much the edges, because I like the little like blurry effect. But this color is absolutely stunning. It's kind of like a nude, but also a little bit of a pink, also a little bit on the cool tone side, a little bit on the brown side. Like, it's a gorgeous color. Now I'm gonna let it set a little bit. This is not the kind of lipstick that dries down, I think. So I'm just gonna wait for it to set, and then we're gonna apply something glossy on top, because I have this new, look at how freaking cute this is. There's a butterfly. This is the new Hydro Kiss lip oil in the shade Liquid Fairy Dust. Now this looks stunning. It's purple, it's iridescent. It has gold shimmer in it, purple shimmer, blue shimmer. There's a lot going on. But as these usually go, it's not as crazy on the lips. It is stunning, it's cute, but I feel like it's mostly translating to like just gold, which actually fits the look, so I'm not mad. But I feel like for what you're buying, like, this looks so exciting. It's not that exciting, it's just lip oil. That is all, my friends. That is everything I have from the new Essence launches. So this is the whole look. It's very natural, fresh, springy. I love it. But let's talk about the products. I feel like once again they kind of killed it. There's a lot of stuff that I will be coming back to probably very often. The lip treatment, the eyeshadows, the brow pen, the concealer I've been loving a lot for like the past 2 weeks. Also the lip blur, I feel like this is an amazing texture. The blush, the Mousse blush, I actually enjoyed a lot. Same thing with the mascara base, actually. I think that this is actually making a difference. What I'm not really sure about is the serum spray and the honey primer. The primer feels a little bit too heavy for my liking, so I cannot wait to try the foundation on a different surface as well. That being said, the foundation I think is really cute. Like, I love the finish, I love the amount of coverage. And overall, I think the complexion is looking really nice and fresh. The only thing that I'm a little bit on the fence about is the powder and the blush. The blush isn't pigmented enough. The color doesn't really translate on the cheeks at all. And the glitter is very chunky. So I did not really like that one. And the powder, it doesn't feel enough matte for me. It doesn't feel secure, I think is the word. The single eyeshadows, those are absolutely stellar. The glitter formula specifically, I would definitely recommend. Absolutely stunning. And yeah, that is everything, my friends. So that was a little Essence Cosmetics try-on / review / you know. So like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!